let's keep moving, right? Because we got a lot here.
Copa America, right?
Uh,
Topic
yeah.
three. Well, is it gonna happen? What do you
I mean,
think?
it's a shit show. Excuse the language. I don't know if it's going to happen. It sounds like the Brazilian players were actually reaching out to other representatives of other teams,
Mm,
and they're going to make some sort of a statement early in the week about whether or not to boycott the
mm,
tournament. And that is based off of Twitter headlines, but it's based off of some sources that we've obviously believed to be true over time. But yeah, it's moving it. It's basically just like no, never mind. I'm not even going to say that. But
okay.
moving it from Argentina, where COVID is very interesting, to Brazil, where COVID has basically always been very interesting, makes very little sense to me. But at the same time, the Copa America is the Copa America, and it's where
Yeah,
you get a phenomenal view on who's going to lead us into. Normally, we wait 2 years, right? Heading Copa America to World Cup, but this is basically a kind of a audition for the World Cup for a lot of these guys, and I'm excited to see if it goes forward, whether or not the defensive frailties of Argentina will continue. A guy like Christian
hmm,
Romero, who I believe, just won
Atalanta, right?
Serie A Defender of the Year. Uh, Looking him and watching him lead the line, I know Leo Messi is very important, right? But that is literally the most important part of Argentina moving forward. If they can do anything in the World Cup, it's they need to develop a defensive spine, and if Romero can be it, that's a good starting point in my
Well,
opinion.
Copa America.
Mhm.
We need to be fast on this, but I just want to say in Copa America, if it goes through, I hope everything is going to be with the right procedures. And I know the Brazilian players are very against it,
Yeah.
which I do understand. If they don't come back to Europe, then it's a big problem with the clubs. Casemiro, Eder Militão, Alisson, Fabinho, all
Mhm.
these players really don't want it. But the narrative that I feel is very important in this Copa America is Lionel Messi. Because
Mhm.
if Lionel Messi wins the Copa America, he wins Ballon d'Or. If he doesn't, there's a talk. And Messi doesn't want there's a talk to happen because he's one of the legends in this game and he wants to always be the best. So Uruguay too, I want to mention with Darwin Nunes isn't there injured. Ugart,
Mhm.
really good talent. Sporting might snatch him up. Benfica and Sporting are trying to get him. Uh, Really good player, midfielder, former Peñarol. And yeah, it's a pity that we don't see these nations. Chile is really good too. Uruguay, it's a pity, and I would love to see it happening too.
You
You know,
talked about Messi, but you didn't talk about the eternal wonder kid that won himself a La Liga title this year for Uruguay.
Godin.
No,
No,
Luis Suarez.
Godin. Oh, Luis Suarez. Yes, sorry.
Luis
Godin
Suarez,
is
and
in
whether or
Serie
not
A.
he
Oh my
shows up,
gosh.
right? No, Uruguay does get a special shout out though because I really like the generation that's coming that's bubbling underneath the surface right now to lead them through. A guy like Facundo Torres, who just made his debut the other day. If there's a blend of youth and vets at this Copa America, if it goes through it forward, those are some guys I'm going to be looking at. Other like a Militao. Eder
Hmm.
Militao had a good game the other day. A Vinicius would be very interesting. Watching a guy like Emiliano Buendia uh,
Hmm.
actually, play in a tournament for Argentina is going to be amazing if it goes
Value.
through. But it's very different. Normally you have a couple guest teams like a Japan. The United States have been in it once before. There's You're not going to have that flavor. It's just going to be while World Cup qualifying is going on around them. They're going to have a tournament as well. So I understand why they don't want to go through with it because they're already putting themselves at risk with the qualifiers that they're having down there. So let's move on because we'll probably
Okay.
talk more about it if it starts. But just know that we have our eyes on that, and there are going to be a lot of young players that get their chance moving forward, and you might even have some vets say, "I'm going to sit this one out," and other young players might get pushed forward up the roster.